welcome everyone. Welcome to Sports Management. And you're probably wondering, I'm Nicole Venter. I head up the fashion marketing and events programs here. Probably wondering, why is she emceeing the session? Well, I've fallen in love with sport and sport business. And this is Trevor, also our undergraduate dean. I want to welcome you to one of the programs where I think some of our most wonderful and grounded students come from. We are quite passionate here about sport. Our dean is an ex-professional rugby player. Our owner, he's quite obsessed. Is it taekwondo, karate? He's into it. And a lot of our management team come from a sports background. In fact, Phil, who was going to be here today, has just welcomed a brand new baby. And he studies sports management here and was also a professional rugby player as well. So we are all about sport. We love sport business. Like I said, I've fallen in love with the sport faculty. And I'd like to introduce you to Trevor, who is our dean, and he's also going to be talking on behalf of sport management today to take you through a little bit about what the course is all about and why ICMS. Trevor,
Sure.
you all marked up?
Thanks. Well, I certainly am. Thanks, Nicole. Hopefully the technology is going to work. So welcome along to the sport management talk this morning. As you'll realise, sport is just so big. I mean, hands up those who have not been watching the Commonwealth Games. Good, because you can leave the room. Please. So it's everywhere at the moment, and obviously the success, much to my chagrin, the success of the Australian team has been phenomenal. Top of the table, obviously. You might have realised or picked it, I'm actually a Kiwi. Don't hold that against me. In fact, my team, across the board, and I'm talking about the undergrad team, we are a League of Nations. So we have South Africans, we have Korean, Kiwi obviously, we have Slovakian, so we are quite a League of Nations. We even have an Australian as part of my team, believe it or not. So welcome along to the chat, and I better not take too much time. Why do I get to talk to you guys? Because really it's about you. So this is just a little bit of context about why I actually, as Nicole has alluded to, so passionate about this thing called sport. Because sport business is huge. It's 3% of the GDP in Australia. It's massive. We're talking over $30 to $40 billion a year. So the industry's huge, all right? There's just so many opportunities within sport that you get to participate. Yeah, you could go to the elite level, or you could actually take it on board as part of your portfolio as a business. So it's massive. So some of you will get to this, hopefully all of you will get to this stage where you graduate. I'm very lucky enough to be the MC at graduations. Chris, you'll be there next year. I graduated Chris's older brother, Thomas, last year. Okay, a little bit of my background in terms of where I've been. But really today's about you guys. It's actually about what you're going to get out of this course. Now, I notice you've actually seen a lot of these slides in the previous introduction, so I will quickly breeze through a lot of them. Well, not that fast. Let's go back. So Zoe was a student here, and she successfully transitioned during her wheel placement. She was employed by Manly. She ended up becoming a full-time staff member in Manly, but I noticed just recently she's actually progressed even further now. She's gone on to greener pastures. So as part of the wheel placement, and I'm not going to steal Andrew's thunder because he's going to tell you about some wonderful things that's happened to him as well as part of his wheel placement. So at the end of the day, it is about you. That's why we're here today. What are some of the opportunities in sports career? Look, you might be starting to think about them, or you may not be starting to think about them, but they are just so vast. The opportunities within sport, sport business, sport management, sport science, sport coaching, the avenues are just absolutely huge in the industry now. So it's no doubt that you're going to pick it and choose somewhere along the line. Some of you may even have something in your mind right now. So I met a couple of students earlier, so it'll be good to talk to you guys about that a little bit more after. You've seen these slides before, but what we do is we're just going to reiterate that you're all currently sitting in classroom 11 here, right now. This is one of our, obviously, state-of-the-art classrooms, albeit within a 150-year-old building. All right, so And this is about the size of the classrooms that we actually have. So the idea that we are small enough, to connect with you guys, that's really important. We know every student by name, don't we, Chris? Yeah. We basically know every student by name. It's not a number. So Sienna, when you come here, they will know who you are. William, same thing with you. Yep, they will get to know who you are. That's the important thing about Rocco. Don't worry, I can see you, young man. That's the important thing that we do as ICMS, what we call the ICMS way. Now, the funny thing is, you guys actually have to do some work. It's quite serious. The work component's great. Now, don't look at your mums and dads. They're not going to help you, all right? Well, they may. But the idea is you are here to stand on your own 2 feet, all right? But we are here to support every step of the way. I'm pretty sure Andrew's going to... He better. Yeah, he will. I'm just saying that. We are here to support you all the way. The options are immense. And what you would like to do and what you end up doing may be two different things. But the good thing is it's your option, okay? These things we talk about a lot. Now, this is really important, these things, because you actually get to take away these skills, these capabilities, all right? So we build these capabilities within our subjects. Within the whole course, you're going to come out with these capabilities, being able to be proactive, resilient, to be really confident in what you actually do. It may not sound it, but it is quite daunting, turning up here on day one and then realising, oh wow, what am I going to do? You will soon build networks. Now, sport just happens to be the #1 entry program at ICMS over the last 2 years, all right, domestic entry program. So we've grown it. I wonder why. Anyway, we have grown the program, so it's really important. You will get to do all these other things in terms of building your portfolio, building your connections within the industry, and you will definitely get that opportunity to shine. Yeah, that's what we're here for. Because at the end of the day, we are here to support you in your active learning. Some of the assessments, of course, they're going to be daunting. They're going to be challenging. This is not an easy ride. This is higher education. I'll reiterate that. This is higher education. This is not high school, okay? So you are here to learn and learn about industry standards that you will be challenged on, definitely, okay? Our courses are quite different in terms of we design the assessments of what you really need to have, and we work our way backwards to what are the tasks you're going to be doing. So we already know what the end goal should be, what it should look like. And that's what you're going to learn as you go progress through the course. These are the 7 capabilities I spoke about earlier. Now, you will get exposed, no doubt about that. Who likes public speaking? Hands up those who like public speaking. Thank you, Aki. Yep, that's my cameraman there. He just said yes, he loves public speaking. That's great, because at the end of this course, you're all going to be able to do that confidently. Yeah? You're going to be able to stand up in front of this audience and actually tell a story. Yeah, sports people tend to do that. Some of them, some of the stories you don't necessarily want to hear, but you know what I mean. That's the whole point of being confident in what you do. But all those 7 grad caps, and the last one at the end, technology, we're currently building a new technology degree. It's about to start maybe next year. But if you're in sport, you know that sport utilises cutting edge technology. Yep, so we are already using it in that space. The video analysis tools we have in sport are amazing. So there's some of the opportunities that you could take away from here, not just the sport management side. So my background is actually sports science, as well as sports business. So you heard earlier today, you heard Jody speak about the students that are graduating here. All of our students graduate with experience, no doubt about that. But 90% of our students end up with a job opportunity within their field. So I spoke earlier about how big sport is, so it's really important. These are now some of the subjects. Don't worry about them. You will get to know what the subjects are, okay? So the degree is pretty simple format. We all do 12 core subjects, and they're all business subjects. And then we build the sport specialisations. So in year 1, 2 and 3, in year 1 you do 2 specialisations. In year 2 you do another 2, but you could actually do more. In year 3 you do 4 specialisations. So there's 12, 8 and then 4 electives. but you can build it around. You can do anything like hospitality, study tours, international. You could even do fashion, global brand management subjects if you choose. That again is your choice. Again, these are the options where you're going, and Andrew's going to really hone in on what he's done during his work in integrated learning during year 2. Telly's still at the Rabbits. More subjects. You will get to know what these subjects are all about. Technically, this is how we dress here at ICMS. Okay, so we look professional, we act professional, we behave professionally. That's just part of the process within ICMS, the ICMS way. I'll leave that to Andrew. I don't want to steal his thunder. Oh, be careful of her. Again, more subjects. Now, when you reach this point, Chris, are you here at the moment? You're going into your final, yep. So he's going to do a capstone project. The capstone project is a build-up of a whole semester of work, and it's all group-based. So here's one thing that I will advise you. When you're here at ICMS, get into a good group so you can build good connections, because you don't want to be the island on your own trying to do everything yourself. That's not how we technically work. We work as one. We work as a group. We build each other. So that whole capstone project is built on a whole semester of work on a topic of your choice. That's the beauty of it. So it's something that you could be passionate. Oh, I'm not that bad, am I? I'd have been yawn halfway between, but that's okay. We'll get over that. And then you get options for electives. And we have 2 sport electives that you can also do. So good looking roster there with all these subjects that we have available. So there's no doubt there are lots and lots of options. I don't need to go through this, yeah, because you guys already know. You probably know more about how to apply than I do. All right, so, but if you do have questions, just in the hallway there's a thing that says, how do I apply? Go and talk to Dougie. Tell him I sent you, because I love Dougie. Ask lots of questions. We spoke about all these entry points. Now we're currently going into the August term, and you see there's a tick in October. Well, technically you could enrol in October. You do 2 subjects, you do them twice a week, and you accelerate your learning. So you do the whole semester in 6 weeks. Not my advice in the first year, it's tricky, but that's the idea that you want if you wanted to do it. We have 7 options, and you can do even summer. You can study over summer. No. Okay. Anyway, so those are all our degrees. That's what we're all about here at ICMS, and it's been a pleasure talking to you, and there might be questions later, so please ask Andrew all your questions. So thanks very much.
Thank you very, very much, Trevor. So Andrew's just going to tell us a little bit more around our industry experience and hopefully a bit more about the community here at ICMS.
Yeah, all right. I'll just start. I'm a second year student here at the moment. I've just completed my industry training, my WIL, with Cricket New South Wales. So I'll just go quickly start with a bit about me. So originally when I was in your shoes, I was thinking, I want to do sports. Where do I go? So I did a quick Google. I think you've all done that. That's why you're here today. And ICMS popped up. And I was like, oh, all right, let's see how that goes. Because I'm originally from Western Sydney. So it's kind of difficult coming all the way up here. I had no one from my high school that I knew. But I got to know good friends. Chris is one. And you just get to know everyone. It's pretty much like a family here, I'd say. So just get so when you think about ICMS, it's family. That's what I think. So my industry training with Cricket New South Wales. So I'm a cricket community officer. So I work with the development of primary school age kids and all that. Doing programs, work on game days, basics of that stuff. And now I've been offered a position with it. During my training, they said, yeah, you seem like you're all right. And then they wanted me to stay on, and that's how I'm just going to step my career up, as high as I can go. So before that, I'm also an athletics coach for Lou Athletics. So I already kind of understood the notion of how kids' brains work and what they want to do and where they come from and all that. So when I went into that, I got offered this placement, completed it, and now, so ICMS offers hundreds of different placements in different places. So it's up to you. They help you out with it incredibly. You can get them to help you with it, or if you are already in a sporting position, you can use that, or you could go off on your own and find your own program. So I'm just going to talk a bit about how the community here is at ICMS. So what I remember when I came through the doors, first time last year, the February cocktail event. That was my first big community gathering here. I knew no one, so started getting to know people. Some people got to know from there. I was really, really close now from day one. So that starts. Then you can build into different clubs, sporting teams. We offer a lot of sporting teams throughout the year. I'm at the moment part of the Oztag team. I was a part of the Touch, but Touch fell through. So if you're a part of a team like that, in a sense, so you kind of get to know your classmates at a more personal level and get to know them like that, and then see how it goes.
Yep. Perfect.
Yep. Thank you very much, Andrew. Thank you. So we're just going to open it up to a couple of Q&A, and then I'll walk the mic around if anyone has any questions. So I might start, just my first one for Trevor. What would you say are 3 reasons? Like we know most of our sports students are passionate about sport, have loved it since they were a very young age, and there's no other option. Why ICMS over other programs?
Yeah, great question. ICMS, you're all here, so you're a bit of a captive audience, really. ICMS do things differently, yeah? And I think I really highlighted earlier about the difference between what ICMS offer and potentially other bigger universities is we get to know you personally. We really care about you personally, and it's hard sometimes to show that when you're in one number within hundreds and or thousands of students. So, and the thing that you said earlier about falling through the cracks, it's quite hard to fall through the cracks if we're always there to support you. So that's really important for us, for me as an academic. Yes, I'm the dean here, but I get to deal. So here's a little tip for you guys. If you ever come to see me, generally it's not for a good reason. So I advise you just to be aware that, I'm not the big bad wolf, but what I do is I really support my program managers, and they support their lecturers, and the lecturers support the students. So really that's how it works. But just bring a student here, he's probably known me from day one because I taught his older brother. His older brother's graduated last year, but is that fair? Is that a fair comment, Chris, would you say? Yeah, it's pretty hard to go missing because we're always keep a finger on the pulse. So rest assured, if you go missing, we're going to know why. We want to know why. Same, the idea. So that's really where I'm coming from in terms of ICMS. Andrew? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And poor Chris, he gets roped in. He's one of my students in Capstone. He's a very good student. He's good. You bring really good ideas to the table. And you talked about the sense of community and family and how important it is. Can you tell us a little bit more about maybe how the Will team or some of your lecturers have supported you in your journey? So
here at ICMS we have the lecturers virtually from the day dot you walk into their classroom, they get to know you personally. They help you out in no matter what. Have a question, ask them. They're amazing. I'll just say that. The Student Success Centre, I'd say, is if you have any issues with anything around, go see them. The team down there just help you out in any issue, like if it's academically, socially, if you are having problems with your mental health, they're happy to help you down there. Personally, I'll just say quickly, I had a problem last year when we went into lockdown. Had to go study, keep studying at home. I didn't, because I graduated in 2020, So I understood studying at home, did my HSC through COVID. So then when I came in here, I was like, we're back on campus, community, be with your friends, and then went back into lockdown again. It was just hard to get into it. And then the lecturers, Success Centre, just helped me get a routine going, and then I'm here now still. So I guess they do a good job.
You're still surviving. I'll just add to that as well. Like our Student Success Centre, Val McMorrin, who works down there, she runs that. She's one of the longest serving staff members here at ICMS. She's been here nearly 25 years. So she really knows what it's like for our students that come from all over the world. So yeah, that's good to hear, Andrew.
Yeah.
You're reiterating and supporting that.
Thank you for sharing.
All good.
Thank you. And the last question before I open to the room. We talk about industry, and we're quite excited. We're doing a sports panel masterclass in a couple of months. You're all invited if you want to come. Can you talk a little bit more about our industry focus, Trev?
Yeah, it's important that we do maintain connections with industry. That's actually what ICMS is also well known about. So that's the 1,000 partners they talk about. They're not just 1,000 partners that are on a board. They actually integrate and liaise with those partners on a regular basis. We have functions where students and the partners get together as well and stuff. But it's really important that we do, because there's sometimes accreditations that you need or certifications outside of the classroom as well that you can actually go on and do. So I know that the sports students are obviously, some of them want to go and do first aid, they want to go and do coaching, they want to go and do their own sports specialisations. So we make sure we're connected with those industry partners as well to follow up on that. But yeah,
Thank you.
Again, there's lots of opportunities, and you guys sort of know, well, especially the students sort of know where they're going and what they don't necessarily know what the end product might look like, but you know you have a passion and love for sport. And I'll just quickly say this, I've actually never had a job. I've been in sport and education my whole life. I played sport, coached it, taught, trained, and now I'm managing it. So it's a great industry if you ever get to be involved. So yeah.
And I think I might just piggyback off that. So obviously Trevor's my manager, but there's something really beautiful about sports industry and sports people in business management. There's a caring there and a nurturing that I think makes the students really special. You can tell I've fallen in love with them. I might just open it up if anyone has any questions. If I could just ask you wait until I bring the microphone to you. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Nice, William.
So something that I've sort of been trying to ask for quite a while now is how similar is the college environment to the work environment, especially for someone like you?
Okay, so I'll just, to answer that, it's similar and it's also different in two ways. So personally with my role with Cricket New South Wales, the team I'm a part of is a fairly smaller team, such as ICMS. But what I'll say is it's very like what you learn and then what you do can be very similar depending what path you take. So, does that answer? Partially?
Any other questions? Yes. I love your jacket. You can come study fashion if you like.
Thank you. I know the school is big into sports like cricket and rugby, but is there any placements for sports like basketball for Australia?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we deal with all sports. There's the connections in the sport industry are huge, and it's not just because we just talk about rugby a lot, and no one's mentioned surfing because otherwise everyone would be surfing down there every day. But yeah, there are so many different sport connections here that everybody's involved in. But we tend to hear who shouts loudest, usually. But definitely we have basketball connections. In fact, there's one of my ex-students who might be coming here this either beginning of this term or the beginning of next term. Currently manages just finished a stint with the Sydney Kings and is currently managing the game day operations with the FIBA World Women's Basketball, which is starting up this year as well. So yeah, we do have connections with basketball, so it's pretty important. All sports to represent as well.
Any last questions?
Rocco, did you have a question? You sure? No? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hi, how are you? Thanks very much for your talk. That's very interesting, and about your industry going into working Cricket New South Wales. Just wondering, obviously, that the children graduate and their early 20s and everything. So there are roles. I just want reassurance that there are roles for the young. Like obviously, a lot of athletes are older. What do you feel like there's that they accept the kids coming through that they're young, that they don't have much life experience,
Sure.
but is there a gap between when they're like taken seriously or you think they graduate, and then is there a gap between like late 20s or 30s when they get into these big roles like your former student, or you feel like there is a role for the kids straight out of uni?
Yep. I'll actually let Andrew answer that first, and then I can add to that as well. It's a great question.
Yeah.
Great question.
So when I firstly went into applied for my placement and got it, I kind of was like, am I going to be like an outsider? Thought that. But pretty much from my interview I had with my supervisor and manager, they saw me as them. So pretty much, we are a very young team, but we do have seniority managers, but we all just do the same thing, no matter how old we are. We just work as a team, I'd say.
Yeah, that is a great question. And the question you ask around, do they perceive you as having a life experience and actually know what they're doing? The critical thing here, before you go out on placement to any industry training, you have to have completed a certain number of subjects to gain that background, context and experience. We don't just put them out there and let them sink or swim. So, but because the WIL team themselves will liaise directly with the students, they will, like the placement coordinator that would have liaised with Andrew would have made sure that it was right. And the organisations actually take ICMS very seriously, and that's the critical thing. So they come in knowing all the background context that we provide before our students even go out in the industry. So that's the critical difference. I know because I've worked at other institutions where that hasn't necessarily been the case. So yeah, if you're out there and you're 20, 21, 22, you know that they know that they're coming with some context and understanding. So it's not just good luck, do your best. Yeah. Definitely not. Oh, great question though.
Thank you very, very much. If there's...
We had one more here.
Oh, we have another question. Thank you.
There's always one.
So similar to the last question, is there a sort of expectation that you have any prerequisite knowledge of, say, certain sports? So say, for example, you go on placement in cricket, but you've never played cricket, or you've got no knowledge of, you don't even know what cricket is. Is there any expectation that you know something about these sports, or? Yeah,
that's the beauty of the WIL coordinator's role. So they will ask you first, what are you passionate about? What's your sporting background? I always ask, what's your sport? So I know that Rocco plays, he actually's got a couple. Same with William, they do rugby and cricket, and Rocco plays football, soccer. So they will definitely ask, what's your passion? And they will make sure, like you wouldn't have gone in there without any knowledge of knowing what, because we don't want that. We want our students to be confident when they walk into their WIL placements, to make sure that they can get the most benefit out of it. Because really, at the end of the day, they're going to gain benefit. The organisations that they work for, remember, they're going to get benefit as well. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right.
Is there any sort of practical side to the course, or is it when you're on campus, is it, say, for example, you're interested in coaching, is it all classroom-based, or do you get to go out onto the grass and actually practice, learn how to coach, if you know what I mean? Yeah,
I definitely do. That's actually a lot of my background is that context. So this is a Bachelor of Sports Management. So the 12 core are management business degree subjects, but the 12 specialisations go down different pathways. Yeah. And they do give you a variety of options. Now, do we do a lot of practicals? I'm not sure context what practicals, you might be talking about, like we don't go out and coach football. That's external. Like I know Chris plays rugby for the Marlins. Yeah, so all our students are involved in some way, shape or form with their sports. But we don't go into the technical, tactical side of coaching sport. That's really a different angle. But good question, great question. But we would never let our students go out in anywhere that they're not confident or happy about.
Absolutely,
as
and
well.
that's part of industry experience as well.
100%.
Is if it is more practical, what they want to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can make it as practical as you want, definitely.
Exactly. Great. Well, thank you very, very much. Please feel free to grab Andrew or Trevor outside, or like I said, we are, doing a sports panel with Trevor's helping me organise as well, and all our early entry students are welcome to that. Or if you're interested, just hit us up. We'll add you to the email. It's very much around community and sharing the love of sport. So if I could just give a round of applause, thank you very, very much.